Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Michigan Outdoorsman. My name's Jeremiah. Today I wanted to bring you guys in and show you my JTS AirAcuda Max 25 cal. I've had this for a little bit now. I just never showed it on the channel. I really don't shoot it a whole lot because I just haven't had the time to set aside to tinker with the gun that I want to. I'm always about chasing the foot-pound numbers. Even though I don't need it, I want to have the highest power possible out of any of my rifles. So with this being an internal adjustable regulator, I haven't really set a time to tear it apart and dink with it at all. So I figured I'd show you guys what it is stock. I've never touched anything on the rifle besides adding a scope to it and then the trigger upgrade. And check out my trigger upgrade I did right here for this rifle. So without further ado, this is the generic rifle case I received. And what I did is kept the foam that they shipped the gun with. Well, obviously I cut out around the scope and I had to add pieces of foam in along the back edge. You can see that there's a hole right there. Cut out a circle for the pellets, added my tool. Those are already there. Magazine holders. It's probably illegal to carry it transported with ammunition next to it. I really don't know, but I'm probably gonna do it anyways. So you can see some extra pieces along the back edge there. But yeah, there she is. Thought that was kind of cool. My first ever custom molded case. All right, so here we go. The chrome's on. I just got the heaviest pellets, the FX pellets. These are 34 grains. 5 of these loaded up, just topped the rifle off, made sure we're good. Haven't touched the gun internally at all. So we're just gonna shoot, see what it is when it ships to your house. This is what your rifle will be doing. 34 grain. $784. $784. $786. $779. $788. So there's 5 shots there. I'll convert that to foot-pounds of energy. I'm gonna delete this string and start over again so I can get my shot counts figured out. So now we're shooting the Kings MK2s, 33.94 grains. $779. $782. $785. $782. And that was $785. So very consistent. I like seeing that. I have not checked myself, but that is very consistent. So now we're gonna do the H&Ns and the atomics. I'll try to hurry through these because I know you probably want to see the adjustments. So we got our 27 H&N Barracuda Hunters and then our FX Atomics loaded up next. Those are 27.47 grains and then 26.6. We'll do the H&N Barracudas first. This rifle is super smooth, I love it. $851. Duplicate, $851. $847. Duplicate, $847. $843. Check the regulator on this rifle. I have not refilled yet. Yep, still got room for another mag easily. So I did fill this rifle to about 3,500 PSI. A little more than they say you can, but it seems to be all right. Didn't have any valve lock. So now we're doing the atomics from FX at 26.6 grains. $8.57. $8.54. $8.55. Duplicate. $8.55. Fifth shot at $8.51. All right, the 26.54 is coming up next, 5 shots. $8.59. Rifle's silky smooth. $8.54. $8.57. $8.56. And that was $8.57. So with these lighter pellets, we're not really breaking that 850s. Okay, 25.4 is coming up. Oops. It's double load right there. I believe I got a pellet in there. Yep. These are my lightest pellets, and that came in at 869, almost 870. $871. $868. Duplicate, $868. $869. So this rifle, in my opinion, is awesome, but it needs more power. All right, so to do what I'm doing now, you're gonna need a 5mm Allen wrench to take the stock set screw out. And I believe a flat bladed screwdriver to adjust the hammer spring. I'm not entirely sure on that. I've had this out before to do that trigger upgrade, but I'm not entirely sure. Yep. So we got that set screw there, or screw. So here I'll show you a little bit about the rifle. You've got this big old flat bladed screw, and if you take off this trigger, you'll be able to see the hammer springs wound up in here. Well, here's your regulator pressure gauge. Here's your plenum. This is where all your air is stored at. So this is regulating what's inside of here, and this is regulating what's inside of the tank here. So pretty nifty. This rifle is really built well. So one thing I forgot to mention is there's a set screw located in the rear, right there. That locks this nut. I was trying to get it for a little bit and totally didn't think anything about it, so yeah. Don't be like me. So you can turn that in. That probably turned in maybe 3/8 of an inch for me. I'm gonna take it all the way out. I wanna see what's behind that for hammer tension. But it does not get much harder turning that in, so. We got a pretty long spring actually. It would stretch. I don't really feel feeling like real pressure when I'm tightening this down. Now I got some pressure behind it, which I don't know how long that spring will stay stretched, but probably should not do what I just did. Because it may not be more hammers tension you need, maybe you need more regulator. So screw it all the way in, we'll see. Now it's bottomed out. You may not want to go bottomed out. Let me feel how hard that is. So I can't even cock it back. Okay, so that might have been my trigger setup back. I'm gonna go right back all over again. I had to pull on my trigger after I did that. I had to like reset the sear. Okay, so it still won't let me, so I guess you still actually cannot go all the way out. So there we go, we got that. So I'm probably a half turn all the way out from full, okay? Now I'm gonna lock my set screw down in the rear. That's a 2 millimeter or a 2.5, I think it's a 2. Don't need to go very tight. Yeah, that was a 2 millimeter. So now we'll assemble this. Now this stock, I've had this off plenty of times. You gotta really watch how tight you get it, because you'll pinch the mags so tight you can't get them in. It's like this action collapses with how tight you can get the screw. So I go by feel, and then I'll ram a mag in and see how tight it lines. That's pretty smooth. I don't want to. Right now I got movement in the gun. I can move the whole gun around, so I don't want that either. So I'll go a quarter of a turn more. That's pretty good. Mag's still slipping in and out really nicely. The gun's new. I mean, it's not. It hasn't really been broken in, so these mags probably could. The more I work them, but that feels good. I don't got any slop between the stock and the action, so I'm gonna call that good. So I'm gonna fill the gun back up. We're gonna reload the mags, and we're gonna go from there. All right, so the gun's topped off at 3,000 PSI, just a little bit over. I got my pellets loaded up. Heaviest to lightest once again. Shooting the 34 grains first, 5 shots. Got the cone turned on. It's actually dark enough outside, I have to put a light out to my steel so I can see it through the scope. So if I miss, it's not the rifle, I can't even see it. Now, it's not much harder to cock this rifle doing what I just did, so if you're worried about that, it does not seem to be an issue. Zoom out here, just more light. $717. That sounds really weird. Duplicate 717. $723. $715. And $719. So definitely a different sound on that rifle coming. But it was pushing them a lot faster. We were at 6. I can't remember what it was actually. It may not be any faster at all. I don't know. I'll have to check. 717. 721. 720. 723. 719. So might have to back that screw back out, but I'm gonna go load up the rest of these and find out. H&M AirAcuda Hunters are next. 27.74 grain. That was 792. 793. Duplicate, 793. 788. 801. Alright, now for these FX Atomics. These are 26.6. 819. 809. 797. 785. It almost sounds like we have more air traveling out of the rifle than needs be, in my opinion. Like it's basically dumping the valve. Or something, I don't know. Maybe it's creating a bounce back or something, but it sounds like we're getting more air out the muzzle. I got the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there. 1. Oh, still over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get the count. So we knew we were at 870 with these light pellets. I don't think we're going to see it. I think we got to back that off or something. So here we go with the Hades. Check my reg crush. Alright, so we're right at the reg flush pressure. I'm going to shoot this shot. Then I'm going to reload air. $770. They're not doing so hot. One thing that's nice about this AirAcuda, you can actually use a tank. I wish I had a 4,500 PSI fill. I really do, just for the longevity. But you get about 4 mags out of this rifle, so it's not as good, in my opinion, as the Umarex Gauntlet when it comes to shot capacity and fill. But I get to refill it multiple times from my tank. So I will get that with all my 4,500 PSI tank guns. So I get to use my tank for what it's intended for once. So best I can tell, we're about 100 feet per second all the way around slower. Let's finish off these 4 rounds. $826. 819. 815. 816. Now for our lightest yet, these we're shooting at 870. 831. 832. 830. 829. And 826. So I'm going to go turn that screw back out halfway and see what happens, because there needs to be time to travel. So we probably got to find that sweet spot. But that's essentially what happens when you do what I just did. I did expect it to be better, in all honesty. I did expect a different result, so I was a little surprised when we shot lower feet per second velocities. But I guess I'll make another video of what I find when I adjust the screw more. But it's so dark out, I'm going to call it a night. And I'll get back with you guys later in another video on this rifle about what I find out. I probably will be adjusting the regulator at some point, and I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. If you guys can, please like and subscribe. That helps out my channel. And I will continue to post more videos. So thank you guys very much. All right, guys, a little bit of an update. I actually ended up backing the screw all the way out, 1/2 turn at a time, and I watched my velocity increase. That's the fastest this gun's ever shot, 783, with a 34 grain pellet. These are the heaviest 25 cal pellets I have, and it's shooting as fast as whatever the Barracudas or something like that were close to. So I did the wrong thing by stretching that spring. And I never really read my instruction manual. Maybe they want you to go out with it. I have no idea. I just assumed in. So don't do what I do. Do what the manual says probably, or whatever. But I went all the way out. So I'm actually going to take this spring out. And this is where remodding your guns becomes illegal. I'm going to pull the screw out and probably cut a rung or two off that spring. Every turn I'm getting out of this gun, I'm getting 10 more feet per second velocity. I think what we were doing was choking it so badly that we were depressing this and it was losing air inside of here. I think we have so much spring tension in here that this was not able to build. This plenum was not able to build up with air. So, like that spring was up against that valve pin. I'm gonna guess there's a valve pin in there. And I was probably keeping that open for too long, so a lot of air is escaping through the muzzle or somewhere else, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm getting so far. We're seeing increased numbers by far. So I'm gonna tinker with that spring a little bit and see if I can get it up to 850 or so. I'd love to see this gun be a 55 plus foot-pounds. But if you calculate that number right there, that 783, that's 46 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So we're getting somewhere where I want to be. With a 25 caliber air gun, I would love to see 50 to 55, preferably 55.